Hi, Ellie here from the Dark Imp. Today I'm going to teach you how to play Gooseberry Fool, which is a game by David Parlett. This game is for exactly 3 players. Now, to prepare the deck, you need a standard deck of cards with 1 joker. So if you've got another joker, just discard it. And you also need to take out all the 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s from each suit. So you're going to get rid of all these cards and put them to one side. You won't be needing them in the game. Then you have 33 cards left, 32 from the deck and the joker. You shuffle them up and you make them into 3 different hands for the different players. You also need a paper and pen for scoring. Gooseberry Fool is a trick-taking game. In the first round, select one player who's going to be the starting player. That player chooses 1 card from her hand to play onto the table. In this case, this player is going to choose a 9 of hearts. Plays it on the table. Now, moving clockwise around the table, the other players look at their cards and select a card to play. Now, they have to follow suits. They have to play a heart if possible. So this player, player 2, can play a heart, and she's going to choose to play this card here, the 10. And then finally, the third player looks at her hand, and she's got no hearts at all. So she can choose any other card to play. And she's going to select the ace of clubs and play it on top. Now, in most trick-taking games, the person who has played the highest card of the suit that was led would win the trick. But that is not the case in Gooseberry Fool. Here, you have to look at the cards, the 3 cards played, and look for the odd one out, which is the gooseberry. So here, the odd one out is the ace of clubs, because the other 2 are of the same suit. So if 2 cards are of the same suit and the other one is a different suit, then that is the odd one out, and that player, which was player 3, wins the trick. Now, when you win a trick, you keep a sort of stack of these tricks and you can crisscross them. So now player 3 chooses a card from her hand to play, and she's going to select the 10 of spades. And here we go. The 8 of spades is being played, and you have to follow suit, remember, if you can. In this case, she's going to select the jack of spades. Now, they're all the same suit. The odd one out is the one in the middle. Then, if they're all the same suit, the odd one out, the gooseberry, is the card in the middle. In this case, the middle card is the 10, because it goes between 8 and jack. And this player, I think, played the 10. I'm pretty sure it was that player. Player 3. So they're going to make a little... So now you can see player 3 has got 2 tricks and the other 2 players don't have any tricks. So player 3 selects again. And the rounds follow like this. So let's look at the 3 possible options. If all 3 cards played are of the same suit, then the card in the middle is the gooseberry and wins the trick. So Queen, Jack, 7, the one in the middle is the jack. If 2 of the cards played are of the same suit and the other one is of a different suit, it's the one of a different suit that wins the trick. If all 3 cards are of different suits, it's the one of a different colour that wins the trick. Now let's talk about the joker. If you have the joker in your hand, you are not allowed to lead with that card. So if it's your turn to lead a trick, you're not allowed to put the joker down first on the table unless it is the last card in your hand. But the first time that you cannot follow suit in a trick, so let's say, let's say these cards were played and this is your hand and you've got no clubs, then you have to play the joker. That's a requirement the first time that you can't follow suit. So now the joker always wins the trick. It's always the gooseberry. If the joker is played, it always wins the trick. But here's the exciting thing. If you win the trick with the joker in, then you can choose whether you take that trick or if you offload it onto a different player, and you can choose which player you give it to. Now, why on earth would you want to do that? Well, let's look at the scoring and how the tricks you get influence the score that you get. So let's look at scoring. This is the end of the round. Player 1 has got 3 tricks, player 2 has got 2, and player 3 has got 6 tricks. Now in Gooseberry Fool, you score according to how many tricks you've got, but also how many tricks the player to your right has got. In fact, you score 2 points for each of the tricks that the player on your right has got, and 1 point for each of the tricks that you yourself has got. So looking at player 1, she has got 3 points from her own tricks and 12 points from the tricks that the player to her right has taken. So 3 plus 12 is 15. So she's going to get 15 points in round 1. Player 2 took 2 tricks, so gets 2 points for that, and 6 points for the tricks that player 1, who's sitting on her right, has got. That's 8 points. And player 3 gets 6 points from her own tricks and 4 from the player on her right. So that's 10 points. As a nice check, at this stage, the scores always add up to 33 for the round. Now, the person who got the middle score, which in this case is number 3, gets a bonus 10 points. So she gets an extra 10 points, so she's now on 20. At the end of the round, when you've done the scoring, you pick up all the cards, shuffle them again, and deal them out again, 11 to each player. This time, the person to the left of the previous starting player will start, so that it rotates around clockwise. You'll each get lots of turns to start. You keep playing rounds like that until somebody goes over 100 points. So let's say we keep playing here, and we get to these scores. The person who's got the score in the middle wins. So this is a race to the middle. You always want the middle score wins. And that's Gooseberry Fool.